across traffic.
Welcome to Viral Twist. In California, the CHP chased a stolen silver Chrysler with 3 kids inside, ending in Malibu with spike strips, a crash, and a barefoot suspect sprinting.
They have tracked this suspect from East LA in the Baldwin Park area through the city, all the way across town into West LA, through Santa Monica, and eventually onto the northbound side of PCH. As he refuses to pull over, they are treating this with kid glove care, as they are aware of those 2 children inside of the vehicle. And again, kidnapping is believed to be one of the charges, the alleged charges here in this case. So unclear whether this is a domestic situation or if these 2 kids were perhaps kidnapped off the street. We don't know those details if at this point, but you can see it's relatively slow as we creep up past Temescal Canyon. We are in the Pacific Palisades. The driver weaving around traffic and refusing to pull over, although not driving at extreme speeds, only doing about 35, 40 miles per hour, which is relatively slow through this area, getting closer to Malibu here as we continue northbound on PCH. The sun is going down here along the coast. There are helicopters overhead. There are several black and whites right behind this suspect. If we widen out, we can give you an idea of the resources dedicated to this pursuit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 patrol cars, and again, with the assistance of that LA County Sheriff's airship, who is calling out the position of this chase. Again, not a lot of traffic on this holiday weekend here along PCH. Traffic is relatively light here as he goes through the red light. They're making their way through that red light with him here. But again, they are aware of those children, and for that reason, they have denied the request for a pit maneuver. They will not pit this vehicle and put those children in harm's way. So he's got some advantages here because of the charges involved. We don't know how much gas is in the tank, obviously, but we can see that it is difficult to see inside the vehicle to get any more intel. Those windows are pretty heavily tinted here as he continues northbound PC. So a correction here. This did not start in Baldwin Park. Actually, it started in East LA. So the East LA County Sheriff's Department initiating this pursuit. Again, handing it off to California Highway Patrol along the 10 freeway. Took the 10 freeway straight across the entire city, and now you have California Highway Patrol, the primary agency here involved, and LA County Sheriff, again, following from above, as you could occasionally see the helicopter flying through the shot here. Again, he's going around traffic at manageable speeds here, but he has continued repeatedly blowing through red lights here. We should also say we don't know for a fact that it's a male, unknown the gender of the driver, but you can see very difficult to tell. In fact, at some point, Maury, maybe we can get in front of it. I know we have a lot of air traffic up here, but would love to take a peek through the front windshield at some point, if it's possible. But he's continuing northbound at about 50 miles per hour, passing Big Rock Drive here in Malibu. Again, it almost appears as though they have successfully prevented, they have basically, for all intents and purposes, created a traffic break behind him. So you won't see traffic coming up from behind him. It'll be curious to see if maybe they can also do the same thing ahead of him to keep innocent motorists out of harm's way here. But again, he is on the northbound side. Traffic, again, almost non-existent in both directions here. And this is a pursuit that will not end until California Highway Patrol can safely stop this vehicle and apprehend that suspect. There is almost no other way that this pursuit can end, and hopefully, if the driving remains as safe and slow as it is, nobody will get hurt here. Hopefully, they can reach that suspect and negotiate with that driver. But again, disturbing details now as we get word that this is a stolen vehicle with 2 children in the vehicle at the time this vehicle was stolen. So that really complicates things, and it really just amplifies the care that they are taking with this vehicle. You can only imagine that they are trying to learn whatever they can about that suspect, if at all possible. I'm sure they are working with more details surrounding the circumstances by which this vehicle was stolen. But it is distressing, to say the least, to learn that information. And as you see this pursuit continue up the Pacific Coast Highway, it's all starting to make a lot more sense. California Highway Patrol using extra caution here And thankfully, we can see that the driver is driving relatively safely, despite the fact that he has blown through a number of red lights. So hopefully that continues. Hopefully this is somebody that they can reason with, but it will not end until they apprehend the suspect and rescue those children. That is almost a sure thing at this point. There are a number of reasons, a number of factors that the watch commanders and supervisors take into consideration when they continue these pursuits, when to be more aggressive, when to use various tactics, and sometimes when to give up the pursuit altogether. We will not see them give this pursuit up with two innocent children inside of that car. You can take that one to the bank, and we'll continue to follow this as long as it takes, because obviously the circumstances here are just so just hard to imagine for the parent and of course the children inside the vehicle. But again, he's continuing up PCH here, crossing Webb Way at another red light here. There was, right past Malibu Colony here, there was talk earlier of a spike strip being prepared at the, as he kind of made his way towards Santa Monica, exiting off the 10 freeway. Perhaps we may see another spike strip attempt somewhere along PCH. It would not be surprising at all. The conditions appear optimal if they could set up ahead of the suspect and potentially deflate those tires and safely bring this to a slow crawl. So we'll see if that's in the cards here. But what I can tell you is that any talk of a pit maneuver has been tabled for now, considering the dangerous nature of that tactic. And obviously, with children on board, they likely will not pit that. Coming up on Latigo Canyon Road as they continue northbound PCH, California Highway Patrol behind the suspect. It does sound like they may be getting some help from the LA County Sheriff's Department here by way of a spike strip set up a little further north here. We're going to try and keep an eye out for that as he continues up the coastline here. There are vehicles, or there's at least one vehicle. Oh, he just hit it. He just hit it. He just hit it. Let's see if that was successful. That was, I believe, a sheriff's SUV there that laid down that spike strip. So just as we were talking about, California Highway Patrol chasing the suspect, LA County Sheriff now laying down a nice spike, and he is picking up speed after running over that spike strip. It's unclear whether the tire struck the spike strip, but we will see if this vehicle behaves any differently, aside from the fact that he is now doubling his speed here as he makes his way northbound PCH and now braking for some reason. Well, you can imagine the reason now. He is much more agitated, and the vehicle appears to be behaving nominally thus far, but they did lay down a spike. He appeared to drive right over it, and we'll see if those tires start to wobble at all as they lose air. Hopefully, if he struck either side, if he struck the spike strip with either side of the vehicle, hopefully we'll see some of that rubber start to deflate there. So he's continuing northbound past Paradise Cove at a high rate of speed now, and they are, how far back are they now? They were really close on his tail. They are still pretty close, but he is picking up steam here, and unfortunately, well, it's unfortunate because he was traveling much slower. Again, we just want to see this end as safely as possible. Hopefully they could bring this to a peaceful resolution, but right now that driver is now agitated, and he is definitely stepping on the gas pedal as he tries to evade these law enforcement officers. LA County Sheriff with a knife. Oh no! Right into cross traffic, and the driver loses control right into the hillside there at a major intersection. That's going to be Kanan Dume Road, and the driver is now jumping out of the vehicle. There's two kids inside that vehicle.